Your gut bacteria are producing a compound right now that heals your gut lining, regulates your immune system, and controls your appetite and fights inflammation. Most doctors have never explained it to you. Most health influencers don't even know what it is. It's called short chain fatty acids, and understanding them completely changed how I approached gut health, both in my clinical practice and my own body. So here's the problem with most gut health advice online. People talk about probiotics, they talk about supplements, they talk about elimination diets, but almost nobody actually talks about the metabolic output of a healthy microbiome. What are your gut bacteria supposed to be producing and where they can't? Short chain fatty acids, SCFAs, are the answer. They're the end product of a healthy, well-fed gut microbiome. And when you understand the pathway, every piece of gut health advice starts making sense. I'm Daryl. I'm an award-winning massage therapist, athletic therapist, and holistic nutritionist with over 12 years of clinical practice, 10,000 treatment hours. I've personally dealt with SIBO and Candida, and understanding SCFAs were a turning point in my own recovery. It shifted me from chasing supplements and focusing on feeding my gut microbiome the raw materials that it actually needs. Let me walk you through the full pathway. It starts with fiber. You eat fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, nuts, and seeds, any plant food. The fibers in there, food passes through your stomach and the small intestine, essentially intact because human digestive enzymes can't break it down. When the fiber reaches your large intestine, your colon, your gut bacteria start to work. Trillions of these little microorganisms start fermenting that fiber. You can think of it as like an orchestra. Each bacterial species is a different musician. The fiber is the music sheet. Each species reads its part in a coordinated result. It's a symphony of metabolic outputs. The start outputs are 3 short-chain fatty acids called butyrate, propionate, and acetate. Butyrate is the main headliner here. It's the primary fuel source for your colonocytes, the cells lining your colon. Your colon cells don't primarily run on glucose like most of the cells in the body. They run on butyrate. Without adequate butyrate production, these cells can't regenerate. Your gut lining weakens, the mucus layer thins, tight junctions, the protein structures that hold your intestinal cells together start to break down. That's increased intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut. But butyrate does more than maintain the barrier. It's also powerful anti-inflammatory effects. It modulates cell activity. It promotes the production of regulatory T cells, which prevent your immune system from overreacting. It helps seal the gut barrier that bacterial fragments and toxins can't leak into your bloodstream. Propionate is the metabolic regulator here. It travels from your gut to your liver to the portal vein. And once there, it helps regulate cholesterol synthesis and your triglyceride levels. It shifts your liver's fat metabolism into a favorable direction. Research shows it can reduce the LDL cholesterol, the type that's associated with cardiovascular risk. It also plays a role in gluconeogenesis, which is just how your liver manages blood sugar. Acetate is the most abundant SCFA and is the broadest systemic reach. It enters your general circulation and it crosses the blood-brain barrier. In the brain, it influences appetite regulation through the hypothalamus. In peripheral tissues, it affects fat storage and energy expenditure. It also serves as a building block for other metabolic processes. Now, here's where SCFAs connect with something you've probably seen in the news. This is GLP-1. When the SCFAs, particularly butyrate, interact with the receptors on your enteroendocrine cells in your gut lining, they trigger the release of GLP-1, GIP, and peptide YY. These are the satiety hormones. GLP-1 tells your brain you are full, improves insulin sensitivity, and slows gastric emptying. This is your body's built-in appetite regulation system, and it runs on SCFAs, which run on fiber. Ozempic and Wegovy are semaglutide pharmaceutical GLP-1 receptor and agonists. They mimic what your gut bacteria do naturally when properly fed. The SCFA to GLP-1 pathway mirrors what these drugs do through a food-driven mechanism that also heals your gut lining, reduces inflammation, and supports cardiovascular health simultaneously. There are also emerging connections between the SCFAs and muscle tissue preservation, insulin sensitivity improvement that could help reverse type 2 diabetes and immune system regulation. That's relevant to different autoimmune conditions. The research is expanding rapidly. When you don't eat enough fiber, the whole system starts to collapse. Your gut bacteria can't produce the adequate SCFAs, your gut lining weakens, inflammation increases, your natural satiety signal breaks down, your immune regulation suffers. And remember that 95% of people aren't getting enough fiber. That means 95% of people have a compromised SCFA production system. That's not a minor gap. That's a population-wide metabolic problem. The fix isn't complicated. It's not expensive. It's fiber. It's just a diverse, consistent, adequate fiber intake that gives your gut bacteria the raw material it needs to make the SCFAs into a little factory. SCFAs are the backbone of what I've created in my gut health program. I wrote a free book if you want to understand it. It's free. You can just go to guthealthprogram.com. There's going to be probably a link in the description or in the comments. You can just Google it if you need to. Be sure to subscribe for more. I'll be breaking a lot of these down in a very easy to understand way for you.